Hello and welcome to this section. In this section, we will explain the feature overview of private cloud deployment. As we mentioned before, any case developed in HiCode can be operated independently of the platform. Here is a brief introduction. This section contains the following 4 knowledge points, respectively: the feature overview of private cloud deployment, the deploy architecture of private cloud deployment, the application package structure of private cloud deployment, and the source code export and development in private cloud deployment. First of all, we will talk about the feature of private cloud deployment and summarize that the HiCode platform provides the function of application privatization export deploy and supports the export of application code to its own server. We can choose to export only the code of the front end or the code of the front and back end together. After the export of application, we can deploy the application to a separate server according to our actual needs. The server, or distributed deployment, can also selectively access the cloud services of the third party in multiple automatically expanded servers or containers, including CDN object storage, cloud database, etc. Whether it is a pure front-end package or a front-end and back-end integrated package, once exported to deploy, the application is completely separated from the HiCode platform, whether it is a database or a material, and the HiCode platform independent. Therefore, after the application is exported to deploy, it will not generate any server calculation-related fees or traffic fees, but it needs to operate its own server. Then we will talk about the architecture of deploy. For the architecture of deploy, we need a network service, a cell, and the object storage, MySQL, and Redis it contains. Let's introduce the so-called network service, that is, network service programs such as reverse proxy. When private cloud deployment, you can use the self-deployed Apache program or the load balancing service of the cloud service platform. The computing unit is our core HiCode backend computing program, which is a code package of our program. That is, the base file we download when exporting the application. The computing program can be deployed in a separate server, or it can be elastically scalable. You can also use the container service to run the service of object storage and file storage. You can use the local file storage of the server, or the object storage service provided by the cloud platform. For example, Alibaba Cloud OS, Tencent Co., Amazon AWS, etc. MySQL is our relational database. It can be a locally installed MySQL program, or a Redis service provided by the cloud platform. Like MySQL, the Redis cache database also supports our local installation and our cloud resources. The above-mentioned 5 service modules are necessary for the operation of HiCode application. However, HiCode does not limit the specific deployment methods of the above service modules. We can select one architecture for deploy according to our actual needs. Among them, one lowest cost deploy architecture is to deploy all 5 modules on a single click server, which is what we described in the chapter of click deploy and reverse proxy in the document center. If we need to conduct distributed deploy, we must support the elastic scaling of the calculation unit, so we must store the network services and objects in MySQL Redis files, and database services are independently deployed to ensure that data services are unified when multiple cells access them. In the document center, we take Alibaba Cloud as an example to introduce in detail how to connect the HiCode application to the object storage of the third party, load balancing MySQL, and Redis database services. Then we will explain the structure of the application package. The structure of the application package mainly includes 2 points. One is our front and back end integrated package. Then what is our front and back end integrated package? We came to an application like Hello HiCode that we developed before. Select a menu option like Private Cloud Deployment in the file, and we can click it to find that it pops up a content of Private Cloud Deployment. The so-called front and back end package includes our base and a separate deploy package that we deployed. Among them, the base program file is the code of the back-end core system, which supports Linux, Mac, Windows, and DOS versions. We select a corresponding base according to our different deployment environment needs. After the base program runs, we can support the operation of multiple applications and support the seamless update between the application. Therefore, unless we have major system updates, usually we will not download our base repeatedly. Then the next is our application code package, which is a code of our current application. It contains one of our frontend and two parts of our backend application code package. It doesn't need to distinguish our operating system. It just needs us to click to download and upload to our server. According to certain methods, it will be automatically parsed, and the application will be operated on. When our application is updated, we can download our application package again. The base will update one of our application directly without service interruption. The second type of application package is our frontend HTML package. It corresponds to the option that we tick below to export the previous HTML package. It only exports our front-end part. After exporting, we can directly open it on the local computer through a browser, or combine with a self-made web service to deploy the front-end part to cloud service server. Similarly, our HeCode also supports us to export a series of advertising platforms such as Facebook, Google, Pandalin overseas, so that you can directly upload the export package to our corresponding advertising platform. Our frontend package is a zip package containing all the frontend code files and resource files index.html. The file opens such an application directly locally. Then let's talk about our source code export and our secondary development. At present, the application package exported by our HeCode is a compiled deploy package, not a source code package. This package can be directly deployed and run by us, but it cannot be developed for 2 times by modifying and exporting the original code. The reason why source code-based secondary development is not supported is that once our source code is modified, you cannot import it into the HeCode platform for editing. For our HeCode platform, we support you to write customized widget, call customized functions, and can use API, RPC interface, and other tools. HeCode supports good open application development. Developers can directly access the third-party resource library on our platform, or use the code mode for development. Therefore, we do not need to modify the source code. You can go to the center of the document and select the section of We develop the private cloud deployment for 2 times of development. There is a section of private cloud deployment here. At present, we have some methods about click deploy, domain name, and reverse proxy object storage, external file system configuration, CDN, access to cloud database, load balancing, and elastic expansion container deploy config file configuration, and Windows plus Apache deploy. The method and operation steps of each deployment in the document are very detailed, so we will not demonstrate it here and record it as a video. If you have such a need, we will record a process of each of our deployments as a video for you to share in the future. The above is the whole content of this section. Thank you for watching.